Render is about to go parabolic and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doug and in today's video I'm going to explain to you why Render will go parabolic in the upcoming months and also give you my Render bullrun top price prediction. Let's start this video off with what's actually going on with the Render price since my video last week. So basically during last week's video I already told you that I was expecting a dump of Render before an uptrend towards the rate cuts, and I was especially speaking about a very important level called the golden pocket. And it's as easy as it is. All you have to do is take the Fibonacci retracement, then go up from the bottom wick to the top, and then there's something called a golden pocket between the Fibonacci 0.618 and 0.66. And what happened since basically last Saturday when Render was trading at $5.22, we went down to this golden pocket. I showed the exact same chart in my video last week at the end, and of course during this video I will also show you my short-term price prediction and my long-term price prediction, so you definitely want to watch until the end. But there is also another very important level which Render claimed, which was something I was talking about on Twitter and also in last week's video, and that was actually 5.40. But what makes 5.40 so special? Because you can see the Fibonacci level of 0.382 is at like 5.36. We went above it. We didn't manage to claim it because we couldn't close the daily above it, but we took some very important liquidity. And liquidity is something not many people talk about on YouTube, but it's very important because I was saying since last week's video on Twitter as well, when we were on this downtrend all the way to like $4.60 the golden pocket, that they would grab the liquidity around 5.40 because there was millions in liquidations above this level. So they're not gonna let these shorters win. Like a lot of people opened their short here, they kept shorting with basically their stop loss at this level, which managed to bring out a lot of liquidity with millions in liquidation leverage, and they're not gonna let you short and win. Like market makers will win. So what they did is they went to the golden pocket, took out the liquidity here, which was also in the millions, and then pumped it straight toward the liquidity and took it again. So now you might be wondering, what's the next step? Well, there's two major options. One, we're still liquidity here, like millions in liquidity again in the golden pocket. There's also some very important other levels which I will discuss at the end of this video, but never forget there's millions in liquidations above this level as well. Like at 6.15 there's so much liquidations to grab, and they're gonna grab it. Like don't be fooled, even if Render goes down from here, it's gonna go up. It's not gonna leave this liquidity. There's millions in liquidity above 6.15. It's gonna be taken. I don't care how long it takes. They're not gonna let these people who shorted here win. That's not how the market works. But in other terms, there's some very bullish news that happened during this week. So let's move on to that. So the first thing I want to talk about is basically the Solana Breakpoint presentation, which was this year literally underwhelming. Because like the CEO himself said, Render only got 5 minutes on the main stage, just like many other tokens, and normally they get 20 minutes, so they couldn't make the best presentation. But one thing which was sticking out is that 60% of the circulating supply is now on Solana. So basically 60% of Render tokens is now on Solana, and it's getting more and more as well. So basically nearly $2 billion has moved to Sol, and this makes Render now officially the largest token on Solana, but also the largest AI and DePIN on Solana. So basically when they're talking about AI and DePIN on Solana, everyone will be mentioning render, so that's very, very bullish. And this is not the only thing which was very bullish during the presentation, because what I'm also noticing is that the burning is going pretty hard right now, because in the last epoch, which is basically like every 3-4 days, they burned over 16,000 render tokens. This burning is based on real world rendering and AI application, and as you can see, the node operator rewards were 21,000. So render is getting closer and closer to becoming deflationary, because this amount is a fixed amount. Also, this amount will always go down, because in the first year you get a lot of rewards, second year it goes down, third lower and lower and lower. So deflationary is coming, and these are some very impressive numbers, and definitely keep your eyes on this, because as the CEO said, there's coming more applications. There's something huge with Blender, which I will talk about next month hopefully, and of course when they talk about it I will tweet about it, I will make a video about it, so definitely subscribe if you want to be up to date with the biggest render news on YouTube. But yeah, this is a very promising number, and it's gonna be crazier when people actually see that this number is above 21,250 on an epoch, that is actually deflationary, and that's gonna start a lot of hype, because in real bull runs, when FOMO kicks in and retail see deflationary, they're gonna be aping really hard. So this is very promising again from the render network. Another thing which is very promising is that the Federal Rate Reserves just cut interest rate by 50 basis points. So basically this is very bullish, because this means you can lend money cheaper. So if companies can lend money cheaper, people can lend money cheaper, they can invest it. And usually when this happens, people start investing in stocks and crypto, because other things like bonds give less rewards, because if the interest rates are lower, bonds will get worse rewards and people will find methods to make more and more money. So again, very promising news coming out, and a lot of people always think like, when very promising news comes, where are the pumps? Why is it not pumping? It takes time. This is what happens. Promising news comes, investors do research, investors try to manipulate the market to buy the bottom, and then when they start investing, we get a big run. And that's going to happen in my opinion as well. And never ever forget that we're entering October, which is the most bullish month in stocks and crypto history. Just look at it, like the median is 27%, outperforming every other month by far, and it's going to happen again. Just look at this. Q4 and Q1 is basically the green dream months. Again, let me show you the quarterly on quarterly returns in the last presidential election year, 2020. Plus 168% on Q4, plus 103% on Q1. This is what's coming in my opinion. A very big rally. Interest rates are getting cut. Render is performing really well. End of the year has also way more rendering. So I expect the burning to be better. And let me tell you this, when render stats are showing deflationary burns, a lot of big accounts are gonna pick it up. Just like they did with Binance coin in 2020 and 2021. So it's looking very promising for render. All you have to do is wait a little bit. At the end of this video, I'm gonna talk about my short-term render price prediction, tell you the key levels, how you cannot mess this up and really start making money. But before I give you my random short-term price prediction and my bull run top price prediction, if you want to buy render Bitcoin and over 1,000 other crypto coins while getting $30,000 in bonuses and rewards as shown on screen, just go to the top of the description and click on the partner Bybit link. Once you're at the partner Bybit link, you will see my name or see my referral code which you can use on mobile, and you can see you can get up to $30,000 in welcome rewards. All you have to do for this is deposit crypto or fiat and buy crypto, and you will get incredible rewards. Like imagine buying the dip on a crypto crypto coin, getting rewards for buying the dip, and just buying more with the reward money. Don't miss out on this. Sign up today and enjoy the best benefits during the time which has the best buying opportunities. So now let's move on with my short-term render price prediction. So there's a few levels I'll be keeping an eye on. So the first one is this daily demand zone. So basically if we take a horizontal line from here at like 4.37, and then again we take a horizontal line from like here above like 4.27, 26, I'm expecting render actually to try and get this liquidity. Like there's a lot of liquidity here to be grabbed. As you can see, a lot of wicks getting in this zone. Also, don't forget about the Fibonacci levels. Like this golden pocket, it usually doesn't happen a lot, but it could be tested again. Like it got tested here once, twice. They might try and grab it, but I'm expecting, because there's liquidity lower than here, that this is now invalid a little bit, and they're gonna try to get this liquidity zone. Of course, this is not the only thing. Like as shown in the beginning of the video, there's also some very nice liquidity around this like 6.17 level. So basically we're talking about, I think the liquidity is here somewhere, and then also of course it could go higher. So let's say in this region, like in this region, there's actually some very nice liquidity to grab again. So there could be two outcomes right now. Render goes up, goes down fast, and then starts its rally. But to be honest, like it's looking now with Bitcoin getting denied, the chances are that we would do this. So basically go down from here in this level, and then again towards the end of the September, I'm expecting is getting in this zone and just going straight through this. Like maybe have a few denials here. It could also look like this, to be honest. This is more reasonable. Come back down a little bit, like not much, because it's also a bull run, and then move on towards the really important levels which I'm gonna talk about. So basically this is what it could look like. I called it last week that we would do this, but this time I'm looking at the bigger picture. The bull run is coming. It's not far again. Everybody knows that the normal bull run is 170 days after the halving, which is getting very close now. It's going to happen in like 10 days. So it's getting very close, but this liquidity is untouched and they will grab it. They're not gonna go from here straight to the bull run top. They will grab these millions in liquidities and pump it straight to this. Shorters will be in denial and they will be ended. But of course, this is a short term. Let's take a look at the long term. So the Fibonacci at the higher level. So we're gonna take this March top, which is basically here, and then all the way to this bottom, which is here. So as you can see, my line which I drew here exactly ended at the 0.5. This could be the first resistance, and then from here we could actually see a downtrend. Not really sure, it can just go straight up and then test this golden pocket. Of course you got golden pockets here as well, maybe get denied again, you don't know. It could just pump straight this, it could just pump straight to the 0.5, come back to the golden pocket, test the 0.5, but these are important levels which a lot of people look at. And people might be thinking, well Doc, how are you so sure of these golden pockets? Well, it's not because I'm so sure, but it's because a lot of people use it. That's why this golden pocket here worked so well, because a lot of people put buy orders here. So if a lot of people put buy orders, it's the bottom and it will go up. The same thing as here, like this 0.5 is something people trade a lot on. Also, we got this 0.66 or the golden pocket, and from there on, if we move on to the real bull run top targets, there's a few nice targets which people actually look at. So if we just make this a little bit bigger so we can actually go even further on the notes which I'm making. So this is where the real thing happened. The 1.618 after render breaks its all-time high, very important. The 2.618, the 3.618 and the 4.618, which could definitely be the render top. And this is excluding retail hype. If retail gets very hyped, it could just go straight to the moon. Like we could just see something like it. If retail is really hyped, so we go from here, which is usually normal, and then we get denied, maybe back towards the all-time high or a little bit higher, and then it's up to retail. Like, this is the run which could end like at any stage. We could go even higher. It could go higher than 50, which would be a 15x or plus 1,500 from this bottom. And I'm expecting, if this happens, not gonna say of course it's happened guaranteedly, because I cannot predict the future and this is not financial advice, but yeah, in a parabolic run this is definitely possible. The market cap wouldn't even be that high. I think the market cap would be, I think, like 20 billion or something, or even less. So that's definitely achievable. A lot of coins got 100 billion in the last run, and they don't even have real world cases, usage, anything. It was just based on thin air. But to move through these levels, you need retail hype. Market makers can push these levels maybe, but to really go through these levels, $50, $100, like a Solana run in 2021, you need retail hype. And when am I expecting this retail hype? Q1 will be very promising. Like, people don't forget, in 2021 a lot of coins literally topped in March and May. Like, Chainlink is one well known which topped in April, and other coins as well. Like, people always remember 2021 as a November. These coins were usually coins which were made in the bull run or didn't really peak in the beginning, but I'm expecting the beginning to be a peak. They always say selling may go away. People usually don't listen. I don't usually listen, but it could be that we get a May top with the Nvidia earnings, or even a March top like we saw this year. So these are my reasonable targets. If you got any other questions, be sure to comment them down below and I will try to answer all of your questions. But yeah, for the very short term, this is literally case. I'm expecting this demand zone, but really quick. Like, we saw these here, these quick wicks we saw here actually in February before we really run up towards all-time high. This is basically in a day, it gets eaten easily. And then look at this. Like, if we zoom in a little bit, this is a crazy day because we come from a lower level, like let's say 7.3, we wick to 5.6, and the next day we're trading at $9, and this is basically render even breaking all-time high in one single day. So if we take this from here, the same thing would be like wick down to 4.37 and then just break $7-8, or maybe even towards this like Fibonacci 0.5, 8.5 in a single day. This is how this candle looks like. And for people saying it's impossible, everybody said it was impossible in February. Nothing is impossible if they want to make it possible. But yeah, this is my bull run top price vision. This is how I think the market will go in the upcoming 2-3 weeks. Next week we will evaluate again, but I called this week perfectly, and I hope you guys appreciate it by leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like if you did. Also follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I post about crypto, render, and other very bullish things. Also click on the screen right now if you want to find out the best method to buy render. Subscribe to this channel for more crypto content, and YouTube. Until next time.